All right, we are going to go over the next version of this story and then do our activity at the end of roommate problems. So as we said before, when you're living with others, some people choose to live alone, but some people choose to live with others. It can be fun and it can be hard. Everyone has a different personality and they're used to their own things. So when you are switching that up a little bit, it can be tricky. Do you want to live with others? You have to share. Do you want to live with others? You have to clean up after yourself, which hopefully you're doing anyway. Do you want to live with others? You have to respect them and their things. And I know a lot of you are really great about respecting your things in the classroom and the things of others. But when you're living with someone else, you have to, it's like not just at school, it's at home too. Will you be a good roommate? Those are some things we need to think about. Now let's go over some problems that you might encounter, that you might have with someone else. If it is late at night and your roommate is watching a football game and they are cheering really loudly, you can't sleep, what are you going to do? Will you try to cover your head with a blanket and put earplugs in? Or maybe the next day, will you just say, I'm going to turn up the TV really loud because they were being noisy last night, so I'm just going to be noisy. I think the best idea would be to get out of your bed and ask them to turn it down and let them know that you can't sleep because maybe they don't know how loud it is. We have to think that maybe they just don't know these things and not that they're doing it intentionally. So you could say, hey, I'm having a hard time sleeping. The TV is really loud. Would you mind turning it down a bit? I usually try to keep my volume down so you are able to sleep if I'm watching it late at night. And hopefully they'll say, yeah, that's not a problem. If it is a problem and they don't want to turn it down, then that's another step that you would have to take. And maybe you could find some other solutions like a sound machine or something. But the people that help support you or your parents can help you find a solution in that case. You see your roommate using your toothbrush to brush their teeth. What will you do? First of all, you should not use that toothbrush again. And what will you say? You might say, did you know that was my toothbrush? Or, hey, I think you accidentally used my toothbrush. Do you need a new one? And then you can hopefully go out to the store or have somebody help you obtain a new toothbrush. You shouldn't be sharing toothbrushes. It spreads germs too easily. Your mouth is very dirty. All right, the next one. Your roommate always uses the microwave but does not clean it after using it. It is always messy. What will you do? You might have cleaned it a couple times, or you might set up a schedule. We've talked about this before, a cleaning schedule. So you set up a schedule of who cleans what days. And you need to divide those responsibilities up. So if you are doing one task one day, they might do that task another day. But setting up a chart where you guys agree on sharing the responsibilities of cleaning ensures that you are doing your part and that they will also be doing their part. So you might say, hey, I noticed the microwave's getting really dirty. Maybe we should set up a cleaning schedule for this just to make sure that it's not getting gross all the time. And hopefully they would be open to that. If not, remember, it's always a good idea to go to them first before you get other people involved, like the people that help support you. The next one, your roommate does not take out the garbage. You always take out the garbage. Well, first of all, good for you for taking out the garbage. Way to be responsible and make sure that your house isn't getting smelly and gross from garbage sitting there. I think a cleaning plan and a schedule, like I just talked about with the microwave, would be another great idea for taking out the garbage. If you set up a cleaning schedule, like we've talked about in an earlier lesson, You won't have to worry about um, whose turn it is. That can help show you. I also had a friend one time who would they would take turns with their roommates emptying the dishwasher. So when the dishwasher was full, the first person would do it, and they would cross their name off, and then it was the next person's turn, and they would cross their name off, and it would just keep on repeating, and that's how they would keep track of it. So if you don't want to do a cleaning schedule, you could do something like that, like a modified version of a schedule. So it's not Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but it's just every other time or every third time you are taking a turn, and then your other roommates are taking their turn. The next one is your roommate problem. Is your roommate always comes into your room without knocking? What will you do? First of all, we need to think about, does your roommate know that you are not okay with this? Have you said anything to your roommate before, or do they think that it's fun and that you enjoy it? It's a good idea to address that before you try to solve that with them. So if you were just saying, hey, I'd really appreciate if you would knock and wait for me to answer the door before I came in, especially if it's closed, like I might be on the phone or I might just need some quiet time. If your door has a lock on it, that's another option. But it's important for you to communicate with them and get them to understand that it's not okay to do that. You don't do it to them. You don't want them to do it to you. And then also to treat the others in your home how you want them to treat them. Oh my goodness, how you want them to treat you. So if you're going to be respectful of them, you can definitely tell them that and ask that they return that respect to you. So if they're always coming into your room without knocking, have a conversation with them, tell them you don't like it. Maybe you could put a visual reminder outside on your door that says, stop, please knock. And hopefully that'll help cut down on the amount of times they interrupt you and come into your room, into a space that should be just for you. I hope that some of these scenarios and these roommate problems helped. And I wonder what you would think about. How would you answer these problems? How would you solve these problems? And what would you say? Did you think about something different? Or would you think the same thing and say the same things that I thought of? So I would be interested to hear what you guys have to say about these situations. And also, have you had these problems before with where you're living now? Okay, that's all for today. I will see you guys next time.